Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Baku. This is race number 2 of Group C tonight, and this will be the last race for this week of the 2019 Formula Europe Champions League. And tonight I'm joined here on commentary by someone who already joined me a couple of times before. So please welcome my guest tonight on commentary, Federico Andreozzi.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Luca.
And of course, we always have someone who will be our broadcast director tonight. And this man tonight is Alessandro Pietracatella. Good evening, Alessandro.
Good evening, everybody.
So, just less than 12 minutes to go for this qualifying session. We have Lee Findlay with 138.8 in first place at the moment, followed by Diaz in second place with 39.5, 39.6 for Bronek, but Bronek have set his time on the ultra soft tire, so maybe the Poland drivers are gonna try something different tonight. Then we have Magic with 138.7, sets the new fastest time of the session, and Cartista is out of the session. We have a yellow flag near sector 1 and sector 2.
Yeah, he's straight in
Williams.
the wall. Yeah.
And even Williams, so two drivers retired from the sessions in just a few seconds. And that is going to be very important because it means that they will start from the bottom of the grid for the race. I was talking about the standings, so we have Magic leading with 1/10 of a second on Lee Findlay. Then Anto with 39.2 in second place, 39.5 for Gretz, that is in fourth. And then Bronek, Mattia Ametrano, William, Iceman, Baki, Spark, Topping Kessler, Adeo Pancerniak, and also another two LMD drivers, and they are Gabri in 15th place and Eagle in 16th, but they still haven't set a time yet. Same is for Adeo and Pancerniak. Pancerniak is now out on super soft tires, while Gabri, Eagle, and Adeo are now out on soft tires. And I'm taking a look at the timetable, Federico. I'm reading a 35.4 in sector 1 for Spark, who sets a 40.3 in the second sector, and he loses from Magic in the second sector almost 6/10 of a second. So maybe he can aspire to be in 9th or 8th place at the moment. Also checking what Adeo will do, as Adeo is on the main straight at the moment, so he's about to begin his first lap in this qualifying with 9.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, just a little bit of a fact about Adeo is that I remember from last week he used the Sauber, and today he's using the Mercedes, so a particular choice from him. Doesn't want to stick with the same car, maybe he didn't find himself comfortable.
Yeah, maybe on this track he have found to be more comfortable with Mercedes instead of the Sauber. That's maybe the reason. That's what we're just supposing at this moment.
Yeah, and also about the two drivers who retired, it's yeah, you said that it's quite bad for them because they were just on their first lap, and William had also a pretty promising time. It's 39.8 that put him in 6th place, really close to the guys ahead of him, and so I think he could have improved a little bit on that and gained some positions. So
Drezzi is improving a lot. He is 6/10 of a second faster than himself in the middle sector, so that means he can go for a high 38. Even Mattia Metrano had improved himself. 38.8 is just 1/10 of a second from Magic. Dretz on the finish line and is in 4th place, 138.993, 2/10 of a second from Magic. And we have 3 drivers in 99 cents of a second.
Yeah, they're really close up there, and yeah, it's gonna be close also for the
Eagle
for the last
Eagle,
try.
Eagle
Wow.
sets the new fastest lap of the session, more than half a second faster than Magic, and this is a 1:38.1. And I'm taking a look at Magic, and he's coming out on ultra soft tires. Same is for Lee Findlay, while Gabri in second place. Almost 4/10 of a second off the pace from his teammate, but he managed anyway to lock a provisionary front row for the LMD drivers. Then we have two Formula Italian team drivers with Magic in third and Mattia Metrano in fourth. Lee Findlay in fifth place, followed by Dred, Zanto, Pancerniak, Bronek, Spark. Adeo had decided to return to the pit, so he didn't complete his first lap. He was not that slow. He sets a 34.9 in the first sector, but he decided to didn't complete his lap. Bronek in second place with ultra soft tires. He's 2.5 of a second from Eagle, but he's now on the front row. And so Magic have just begun his hot lap. He's out of turn 2 now. There's also Lee Findlay, but he's returning to the pit. So maybe, do you think he tried on the ultra soft and now maybe he's gonna change to super soft, or maybe it was a fake to let the others think that he will do a lap on the ultra soft tires?
I think it may be something related to the strategy, because here, especially in the 50% race, it's very important to keep the tires alive, I would like to say.
Well, sorry, but Magic sets an unbelievable 34.3 in the first sector, and he's 6/10 of a second faster than Eagle in that sector.
That's the potential of the Ultrasofts, as well as a really good first sector from him.
Compared with the first sector set by Bronek, he's 3.5 of a second faster, while here comes a 35.6 by Spark in the first sector. He is still on track on the soft tires. Magic in the second sector sets a 39.1, 6/10 of a second faster than before, but he is going in.
Oh, he pulls in.
He pulls in, so that means he's surely gonna go on super soft tires. So he tried a fast lap on the ultra soft tires to find the right balance, the right feeling, the right sensation, then to then do the one-shot lap on the super soft tires. And that's maybe what most of the drivers are gonna do.
Yeah, and this pretty much confirms what I was saying before, because this is a race where keeping the tires alive is very important, and having the super soft in the first stint helps you going longer, and so you can stretch them a little bit more. And I think some of the drivers will have some problems if they qualify on the ultra soft, unless they are really good on their tires, but we will see in the race. Now everyone is going out on a super soft, and let's see what times they're gonna put in.
Spark is still on tracks. That is his 6th lap on the soft tire, so he's maybe training a bit, or maybe he's gonna be back in the last lap.
I hope for him he manages to put a lap in on a softer compound, because starting with those such worn tires is not ideal.
Actually, he will not have the mandatory choice of the tires, because actually Spark is in 11th place, and now Pancerniak improving himself to a 39.1, almost half a second faster than his previous lap, and he's 9/10 of the pace from Eagle. Gabri rejoining the track, same as Dretz, and they are all on super soft tires. Pancerniak also set his lap on super soft, but he made 3 laps on those tires. Don't know what he's gonna do with those tires. While Topping Kestrel is arriving on the finish line right now, and he will be the first driver to start his lap on the super soft compound.
Yeah, we'll finally have some times to compare, and we'll see what the pace is like on these tires.
34.6 is the best time set on in the first sector. It's been set by Bronek on ultra soft tires. 34.9 for the provisionary man on pole, LMD Higo. and he will have shown a good potential 1 week ago in Australia, in Melbourne, and now he is already in front of all the rest of the drivers. He's on the top of the list now.
Kestrel 34.7 in the first sector.
He's 2/10 faster than Eagle. But remember, Eagle set his time on a harder compound than the one who's now using Toppin Kestrel. Always taking a look at the timetable, because we're gonna have a lot of driver in and on track for these last 2 minutes of the qualifying session. A little bit of traffic for Toppin Kestrel, but I think he didn't receive any kind of damage from the car ahead. 39.6 in the second sector, and he's almost 0.2 of a second slower than Eagle. So actually he can go for a 38.0, 37.9. Let's see if he can improve in the last sector. He's on the finish line. 38.1 is the time to beat, and Toppin Kestrel is on top of the list with 38.1, only 49 cents of a second faster than Toppin Kestrel. 34.5 for Gabri in the first sector, 39.1 in the second. So it looks like Gabri will make it a better time compared to Toppin Kestrel. 35.5, let's see if there's a 34.9 for Adeo, while Gabri is crossing the finish line, and with 137.4 sets the new best time of the session. That's a very, very fast time. Eagle, if I'm not wrong, have some problem, because his lap has been invalidated by the game, and I don't know if he's gonna have enough fuel to try one more lap. We have still 35 seconds to go.
Enough time even.
He's warming up the tire. The tire, so maybe we'll try a new one. 34.4, and Mattia Metrano 34.5 in the first sector. So with the eyes on the Ferrari on Magic, them actually he's just a bit more than 1/10 of a second faster than Gabri in sector 1. And let's see what happened in sector 2. 39.1 in the second sector. He is slightly fastest than Gabri. There are still a yellow flag between sector 2 and sector 3 now. Magic on the finish line, while Mattia Metrano sets 39.5 in that sector. 34.9 for the As. Magic on the finish line. Let's see what he can do, and it's on pole position. A fantastic third sector by Magic, sets a 137.1, and it's on pole position with 0.3 of a second. Mattia Metrano closing the qualifying section. He is in third, 0.6 of a second from his teammate. Bronek is flying one more lap.
Gabri
was improving, but I do believe he made a mistake in the second sector, so he decided to give up. Bronek on the finish line. He is another new set of ultra soft tires, and he is improving, and he's up into fourth, almost 0.8 of a second from Magic. Eagle is improving. He is 1/10 of a second faster than himself in the first sector. Now let's see what he can do in the second sector, actually. Second sector for Eagle. He is 0.8 of a second faster than himself, but he is 1.5 of a second slower than Magic in the second sector. Let's see what's gonna happen in the second sector. Lee Finlay in second place, 1/10 of a second from Magic, and now we are waiting for Eagle. Pretty sure that he's gonna be there for the pole, and Eagle is not improving.
I think his time got invalidated.
Oh, man, I was looking at the timetable, and I didn't receive the communication that his lap was invalidated by the game. So it looks like we have no more drivers on track. Every driver has completed the qualifying session. So Magic takes pole position, 1/10 on Lee Finlay. And then we have Gabri in third, and F1 Simu Spark in fourth. And all the drivers are going to start on super soft tires. I'm obviously talking about the drivers who will start from the top 10. The only one who will try something different is Bronek that he will start from P6 and he will be on ultra soft tires?
Actually, I think Eagle will have a little bit of a different strategy because the time he has set is on a
On
set
2
of
laps.
soft tires.
On
So,
oh yeah, sure. Because he tried the first he tried with the first attempt on the super soft tires, and he found his lap invalidated, and even the second one got invalidated. So yes, the time he set previously was on soft tires. So yes, it is confirmed from the graphics. As you can see, these are the final standing of the qualifying session here in Baku. It's race 2 of Group C 2019 Formula Europe Championship. Magic and Lee Finlay starting from the front row, and then we have Gabri, Spark, Mattia Metrano, Bronek, Topping Kestrel, LMD Eagle, Baki, Anto, F1 Simu, Adeo, Dretz, Pancherniak, Iceman, and then the 2 drivers who got retired from qualifying session with F1 Simu Williams that will start from the 15th place ahead of Cartista 98 CRG that will start from the bottom of the grid in 16th place. So what do we have to expect from the race?
well, it's really it will be really interesting because we have a very fast driver in the form of Eagle on a different strategy. He's forced on that one, but I think he will try to make the most of it. And all the other drivers are pretty much level in terms of strategy. And the pace is really close, judging from this qualifying session. So it will be really interesting, especially the first part of the race, where Eagle will have to defend himself a little bit and try to make the best of his harder tires, and then push like a stud rat in the at the end.
And we'll see what's gonna happen. Well, before the drivers will start from the grid for the formation lap, I would like to remind to the ones that are following at home right now the standings before race 1, and the standings says that Formula Italian team is leading the group with 51 points, 10 points differential between them and F1 Simu that are in second place with 41 points, then 37 points for Team Limited FTR, and then CPL League in 4th place with 10 points after the first race that we had last week in Melbourne. So it's a pretty tight competition between Formula Italian team, Team Limited FTR, and F1 Simu. We were talking about that before, that was maybe the tightest group of the first phase, maybe.
Yeah, we saw also on the in Australia how mixed up the grid was in terms of teams, and I think it will be really interesting to see if anyone can stand out from this race, which didn't manage to do in the first one, but we'll see.
So we'll see what's gonna happen tonight. 26 laps. It's the last race for the Formula Europe Championship this week. Then next week, starting from Monday, we are going to have the first 100% race. It's going to be Spa-Francorchamps, an historic track, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to see some really good action there. Of course, as I said before, this will be the first race on 100%, so maybe something in the rankings may change. There's a disqualification from the session for Bronek and Mattia Metrano, so maybe they've touched each other during the formation lap. But anyway, I'm pretty sure that the race direction will take a look at this evidence carefully. So at the moment, we're talking about the strategy before. So we have 2 drivers that will try something different. The first one is Bronek, that is on ultra soft tires, and the second one is Eagle. Talking about the drivers out of the top 10, they are all going to start on soft tires, so the yellow tires. The only one who will try to start on the super soft tire is Pancherniak from P13.
Yeah, and also watch out for drivers maybe going to try a 2-stop. It's difficult, but overtaking is really not a problem on this track, as we can see this massive long straight.
Yeah.
And that may be something, because they could be faster than the rest of the grid for pretty much the entire race. So we will see if anyone is going to try that.
So cars and drivers are returning now on the grid, and they are rejoining their spots on the grid. And at the end of this procedure, we'll have the green flag being waved from the bottom of the grid, and then the lights will start to going on. And we're just next to this moment, and here it is: 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we're about to let it happen in Baku. And it's rock and roll in Baku with Magic. Goes immediately on the inside of turn 1. Try to defend his position, and there is a contact between Spark and Gabri at turn 1. Looks like nothing happened between them. Also have to be careful right here at turn 2. Yesterday we have a massive crash, and Dretz have made a mistake. He touched the wall by going too much on the inside of the corner, and he spun the car, and he cost a lot of time even to Pancheriak and William. Oh, a big mistake by Dretz there.
And someone has
maybe
lost his front wing.
Someone has lost his front wing, and it's Iceman maybe too. The front wing was no, Iceman is still with his front wing, but I'm taking a look at the Haas of Iceman, as he's really suffering with understeer now.
I think it's William who has no front wing at the moment. No,
oh,
he
yes.
has it, so he
has
damage.
He has the front wing, but he has damage on the left side of his front wing.
So I saw some carbon fiber on the ground, so maybe it was just multiple cars that had lost them, and yeah, now pretty much all the back of the grid is struggling with the front wing issues. So
also Dretz is overtaking William now. So the one who gained the most places after the first lap is Cartista, who gained 4 places after the start, 2 places gained by Eagle, 1 place gained by Anto, and Magic arriving on the finish line, concluding the first lap of the race as the leader. But Lee Finlay is right behind him, and Gabri trying on the inside of turn 1 on the Spark, and they're very close to the wall. They also touch each other. And Spark have really risked a lot, as he was so close to the wall on his right.
yeah, he didn't want to give up the position to Gabri. He had to concede in the end, but that was a really good piece of defending from Spark, and yeah, it's...
And William, F1 Simo William is the only one who decided to return to the pits at the end of lap 1, so maybe, and I said maybe, he was the only one to having damage after first lap, but in my personal opinion, I don't think so. I think that some of the drivers are struggling at the moment, and I do believe that LMD Dretz is one of those.
Yeah, maybe he just doesn't want to ruin his strategy as much as he can, but...
Oh! I saw Lee Finlay exit from the castle zone, and he really almost touched the wall. And again, at the exit of turn 14. Now I know that you also see what I see.
Yeah, and that's confirmation of the limits that Lee Finlay is pushing now. He will be trying to stay with Magic as much as he can, and try and overtake him if he can. But in the next lap, Spark, the DRS will be available.
Again, Spark again very close to Gabri, trying to retake the 3rd place, while with 41.8, Magic sets the new fastest lap of the race. Gabri with a switchback move on Spark, they're very close again, and again they touched at turn 1 with Gabri trying to go on the inside at turn 2, and now it seems like the Force India drivers made it to overtake Spark. And be careful, because Mattia Metrano with the Red Bull is right on their tail. Again, yeah, Spark, ooh, a lot of action there.
Actually, Gabri broke really late there.
Yeah, sure. Magic is trying to gain at least 1 second, trying to pull Lee Finlay out of the DRS zone, but at the moment, the William driver is still able to maintain 2nd place. at the moment. Bronek is fighting with F1 Simuanto, and Bronek looks like he's gonna go on the inside right here at turn 7, and they touch before the entrance of the corner, but Bronek able to maintain the position. But you can clearly see how much Bronek is struggling at the moment, because he have Anto, Baki, Adeo, and Cartista right in the back.
Yeah, he's leading pretty much the train.
Pancherniak! Pancherniak goes straight, but not into the wall at turn 8. He was able to avoid the wall by using the the tarmac on the outside.
Yeah, and he did what Charles Leclerc didn't manage to do in the real race. Qualifying, I should say.
While Magic sets new fastest lap for Lee, and Spark again regaining P3 on Gabri, and this Pancherniak. He was able to avoid the wall at the castle, but didn't manage to avoid the wall at turn 14, just 4 corners later.
Yeah, I think he touched the wall on the right and then touched the wall on the left. So
F1 Simuanto decided to return to the pit, and there's a new front wing for him and a new set of soft tires.
Could it be a little bit of a contact with Bronek he had earlier? Maybe.
Maybe, yes. They were really fighting neck to neck, so maybe something happened between them. We'll see after the race, while Magic and Lee Findlay are really creating a big gap to the rest of the group. They already have 4.6 and now 4.5 tenths of a second on LMD Gabri. And LMD Gabri, Spark and Mattia Metrano have been joined by LMD Eagle. So now we have a 4-car pack right here.
And also behind Bronek, Dreads has caught up to the group, and is now closing it, and will be trying to overtake as many drivers as he can, because he has a race to retake.
Yeah, sure. And let's see what's gonna happen between the drivers ahead. Magic rejoining the finish line at the end of lap 4 with a 41.5. Gabri, you have to be careful because Spark again is very close, but this time Spark decides to stay behind the Force India, while Adeo trying to overtake Bronek, but Bronek decides to pull himself on the left, and maybe Dretz may overtake Cartista. He goes on the inside at turn 1, but Cartista broke very late, and he managed to defend his 10th place on LMD Dress. Dressy again is very, very close to the Red Bull of Cartista, but it looks like Cartista got a better exit out of turn 2. Now Dressy will not have the possibility to attack the Force India. And now for the first time in 5 laps, Magic have the possibility to finally put Lee Finlay out of the DRS zone. Now there is a 1.1 second differential between them. Now it's been updated to 1.2, while Gabri is 5.2 seconds from Lee Finlay. Of course, Gabri, Spark, Ametrano, Eagle, they are surely losing much more time than they were expected, because they are fighting against each other in this first part of the race, Federico.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, Gabri!
Gabri, really risking it.
Oh, I don't know if he had any damage. It looks like not, but I will not be so sure.
Yeah, if he doesn't have any damage, he's really, really lucky. But yeah, as I was saying, this group is really close and has pretty much the same pace. So they are trying back and forth to switch positions, and no one seems to come out on top of this fight.
Again, Gabri defending on the inside at turn 1. So Spark trying on the outside again. Oh, he breaks very late and he goes too much wide. So Gabri is still able to maintain the position, and now Spark have to be careful because right in his back there's Mattia Ametrano with the Red Bull.
Yeah, but both have DRS.
Yeah. Oh, Mattia Ametrano trying to go on the inside. Yes, it is in 2. Wow, I don't know, really.
Close.
That was close, and now Eagle is trying on the inside of Mattia Metrano. I really don't know how they didn't touch there.
Yeah, how they didn't touch each other, or how Ametrano didn't touch the wall, actually.
Yeah.
It was really, really close to the wall on the inside there.
And in the meantime, Cartista managing to take the 9th place from Baki, and he is now in the back of the Mercedes of F1 Simu Adeo. That is actually in 8th. So the highest driver at the moment with the soft tires is Eagle. So just to give my opinion, I don't think Eagle in the end wants to accelerate that much the overtake on the drivers ahead of him. Yes, he's maybe losing a bit of time, but he's going to go on a different strategy. Oh,
Has there been a contact there?
I don't know. It's very
seen...
close. Mattia Metrano is very slow. I don't know why. He was very slow at the entries, at the entrance of turn 15. And now you can clearly see Wild Spark again with Gabri, and Gabri pulled himself in, and this is only lap 7, so let's see if there's going to be a new front wing for him. Maybe the contact with the wall the lap before? No.
No, just
I'll tell you
strategy,
what,
plain and simple.
I'll tell you what, I don't know if those tires will last till the end now.
Yeah, but maybe also judging...
Mattia Metrano with Eagle, and they are still fighting. With Mattia Metrano managed to maintain his position, but the one who's gaining advantage of the situation is Spark at the moment, because he created a 2-second gap on them.
Yeah, I was saying, judging by this battle in particular, we are seeing Eagle really, really close to Ametrano. And this makes me think that the super softs are starting to go off a little bit. And the soft tires are now the ones to be on.
Well, we'll see, but I was also taking a look at the timetable of both Magic and Lee Finlay, and they were both on the mid 41 for the first 6 laps. On the 6th lap, they were both on the high 41. For both of them, they set a 41.9. So they are really on the same pace at the moment, and now it looks like Lee Finlay is a bit closer than before, only 6/10 from a second off the Ferrari. Oh, Eagle, this time on Mattia Ametrano, that will not have any kind of DRS helping him. Oh, looks like Mattia is very, very fast on the straight, because even with the DRS open, Eagle didn't manage to get through.
Yeah, maybe he went for a really low downforce setup.
Yeah, maybe, because usually even a very low downforce setup is not gonna help you here, because the slipstream can be used for so much long, and the DRS zone is also very long.
Yeah, that's really weird how the DRS and the slipstream is not really effective for Eagle in the battle with Ametrano. So we'll see if he finds another way around him.
And in the meantime, Lee Finlay is again trying to find a way to overtake Magic, but they are, as I said before, they are really on the same pace. They are lapping on almost identical times. And now Eagle is still in the back of Mattia Ametrano. There are 7/10 of a second between them. Now half a second. And behind them, we can also see the Ferrari of Topping Castrol. He's 2 seconds off the Force India of LMD Eagle. Then we have Adeo, Cartista, Dretz, Baki, Gabri. And it will be interesting to see Gabri's pace, because usually the soft tires needs a couple of laps of warm-up.
Yeah, I think we will see the real potential of Gabri in a couple of laps, as you were saying. And it will be interesting because he's the first one to fit on the soft tires, and it will give us some indication on what the pace will be like for the other drivers as well.
So we're gonna see, he's just coming down the finish line right now, and he's almost on the pace of Magic. He sets a 42.1, which is his personal best, but Magic on the last lap scored a 42.3, so he's just 1.5 of a second faster than Magic, and now it's not enough. There's not that differential.
Yeah, I think in this moment there's a Lee Findlay that just wants to stay as close as possible to Magic. I don't think he's really interested in overtaking him, because this way he can save a little bit of fuel and also make himself really big in the mirrors of his opponent, and maybe keep up the pressure and try the overtake when it really matters on the last laps. Because what did you see?
I saw Mattia Metrano sliding with the rear of his car at the exit of turn 13, and now Eagle again is very, very close. He's right in the gearbox of the Red Bull. Ooh.
Wow, these guys.
Oh, I hope that nothing strange happened between them. Looks like Mattia is defending on the inside, using all the track, and Eagle going on the outside of turn 1. Let's see if he can make it. Yes, he got it on the outside of turn 1. LMD Eagle reaching P3, and now I was about to tell this thing I am about to say before. We have to really keep an eye on Eagle, because he's the first driver on track on soft tires, and he is only 10 seconds from the leader. And we missed something, because Lee Findlay is the new race leader, and he managed to overtake Magic.
Yeah, I didn't think he would have any interest in that, so we didn't see that. But maybe Magic just decided to put himself back and try to save some fuel himself, as I was saying before, that Lee Findlay could have done. Or maybe we just lost an overtake.
We'll see what's gonna happen. We also have to be careful to this strategy, because usually in the 2 races we have in the last 2 days, the overcut maybe worked better than the undercut here. So we have to be careful, because in a situation like the one that we have between Lee Findlay and Magic, the strategy may be a crucial part of the race.
Yeah, the overcut may work better, also because of what you said before. The soft tires needs a couple of laps. Wow!
I don't know if he broke the wing. I don't know if he broke the wing, because I clearly saw him hit the wall while returning to the pits. And there's a no.
He did.
Oh no.
Wow, that's a really
Big
bad mistake. That's a really bad mistake. Yeah.
I was just talking about strategy just a few seconds before his pit stop. Oh no. Big mistake, and that cost him at least 5-7 seconds.
Yeah, and that pretty much has put him out of the hunt for the victory, because if Magic doesn't make any mistakes, which he hasn't until now, it will be very tough for him to gain back those 5, 6, 7 seconds, whatever it is.
While Mattia Metrano have also made his pit stop, and he is rejoined the track in 9th place, right in the gearbox of the Toro Rosso of Baku 2. And I'm sure that Metrano will lose some time here, because he find the traffic right in sector 2, in the castle sector, and there's no way you can overtake there.
No, there's just not enough space.
Gabri, look at this at the distance, because Gabri is 1.3 from Mattia Metrano, but he stopped 4 laps before him, so that means that he didn't gain almost anything. Oh, yes, he changed the front wing. Yes, he maybe gained 3 seconds.
Yeah,
but Mattia was also fighting with Eagle.
He was not enough. It's not.
Magic returned into the pits. Magic returned into the pits. Obviously, brand new sets of soft tires for him. And let's see where he's going to rejoin. Spark is crossing the finish line right now. And he managed to... No, he didn't manage to get through Adeo. Or it's Adeo who overtook Spark.
It's
No,
Lee
Spark on
Finlay
Cartista,
who
sorry.
overtook.
Lee Finlay on Adeo and Spark on Cartista.
Yeah. It's really very much battles, very many battles in this section of the race, because there are the drivers on older tires who are up in the order, and the drivers on newer ones are trying to regain their positions and lose as little time as they can.
Well, talking about of the drivers on soft tires at the moment, we saw last night De La Rosa having a very, very great pace with the super soft tires in the last 10 lap of the race. So we really have to be careful, because maybe we surely can still consider Eagle as a potential winner of the race, because he maybe will have to recover 10 seconds to Magic, but maybe he could do this.
Yeah, it all comes down to where he rejoins on track, because if he has to deal with a lot of traffic, it will be difficult for him.
But, he will surely lose much more time in that case.
But if he has clean air, well, that's a problem for the leaders, because he will be really fast.
Eagle is lapping on the mid 41.5 in the last lap. Lee Finlay sets a 41.4, and Spark with 41.2 sets the new fastest lap of the race, while Mattia Ametrano is able to overtake Dretz, and Bronek is out of the race. But I didn't have the opportunity to see where the accident happened.
Yeah, I saw just a yellow flag. I think it was in sector 2, but didn't really catch it. We'll see now that the driver's right there.
F1 Simuanto overtook CPL Iceman at the braking zone at turn 1, while now Magic is gaining a lot. He gained more than half a second in the last half lap. Now there is a 9.4 differential between Eagle and Magic, so maybe Eagle is starting to think about this stop. But there are still 13 laps to go.
Yeah, he has to at least do, I think, like 4 or 5 more laps, because the super soft won't last that long if he stops now.
A 1.5 tenths of a second regained by Eagle in the middle sector. While now we'll see also which pace will have Magic. Lee Finlay is 2.3 from the Ferrari now. He sets a 41.5 in the previous lap, while Eagle again sets, now is a bit higher than before, 42.3. Magic 41.7, Lee Finlay 41.1. It's a new fastest lap of the race, 6 tenths of a second faster than Magic. But there are still 2.2 seconds between them. Gabri on Dretz, because Dretz is returning to the pits. And so with 12 laps to go, he will go on super soft tires. I think that this can be the limit. 11, 12 laps, not more.
Yeah, he also had those problems in the very first part of the race, so he doesn't really have anything to lose, and so he can try to do something different with the strategy to try and take some positions back.
Team order in between the two Red Bull, with Mattia Metrano let him pass through by Cartista. So now Mattia Metrano is up into 6th, and he's 2.3 from Adeo. While Magic now is 8.7 from Magic, and Lee Finlay, it's still gaining something on the Ferrari. Another couple of tenths of a second gain in the first sector. Another couple of tenths now in the middle sector.
Lee Finlay has really put his head down and is trying to regain all that he lost with that silly mistake, I must say, in the pit entry.
Only 1.3 seconds now between Magic and Lee Finlay, so And now LMD Eagle returning to the pits. So it will be a 12-lap race for him on the super soft tires.
Let's see where he rejoins. It's really important.
Ooh,
Wow,
look at this.
Finlay.
48. 40.8, new fastest lap of the race. The first man on track going under the minute 41. And he's doing this on lap 15.
Eagle is just in fight with the Ametrano.
With the Ametrano. Ametrano will surely try to make him lose much time as he can, as he know that Magic is ahead, and maybe Eagle could be a dangerous driver for the victory at the moment with those tires. He's actually 9.6 seconds from the lead, so yes, it could still make it. Oh, sector 1, there's the yellow flag, and CPL Iceman at turn 2.
Yeah.
Long at turn 2.
Too late on the brakes.
A little bit.
Simple as that.
And it looks like Magic is pushing now. He's improving his best times. And now the gap between him and Lee Finlay, it's the same we had one lap ago. So I'm pretty curious to taking a look at the timetable at the end of this lap to see if Magic can still improve his race pace to defend from Lee Finlay. It seems like he had something more tonight. So end of lap 15. And Magic is coming on the finish line, still 1.1 between them. So the Williams are still unable to use the DRS. 41.4 for Magic, 41.2 for Lee Finlay. Magic sets his personal best, but Lee Finlay is still a couple of tenths of a second faster than him.
And Eagle has passed Mattia Metrano and is trying to defend from his comeback, and he manages.
Yes, he managed this, so he's now up into 4th, and he have to he have a 6-second gap differential from him to Spark, who is in 3rd, and now 2.8 from Spark to Lee Finlay. And Lee Finlay is 1.2 from the leader Magic, as we still have 10 and a half lap to go.
And I also wanted to point out that Spark wasn't this close before the pit stop phases.
Yeah.
So he has had some really good pace, and we will see if he can do something to hold Eagle back, because he will now try and defend his podium.
Cartista is under the second with Dretz. There are just 5 tenths of a second between Dretz and Cartista at the moment. So we will see if the Formula Italian team driver will be able to try and overtake. But now for the first time, Lee Finlay is back in the DRS zone of Magic. There are 8 tenths of a second between them, so he will be able to activate the DRS for the first time.
He has really...
Ooh, 41-0.
Yeah, he's really trying to make up for that mistake, and he's doing so really well.
41-0, and you can clearly see how much is getting closer to Magic right now. And Simu is not that far. It's 3.3 from Lee Finlay, but anyway, he lost half a second in the last lap from 2.7 to 3.2, and he's still losing time.
And yeah, Eagle is going really fast now. 1.3 seconds gained in the last lap from when he overtook.
Simu Anto returning, while Simu Williams, of course, with the super soft tires, brand new super soft tires, sets the new fastest lap of the race on 1:40.4. Magic is still doing the best he can. He is very constant on his lap times, but it really looks like on these tires, Finlay have really something more.
Yeah, ever since their stop, Lee Finlay really seems to sort of stepped up in terms of pace, and this really makes me think that the moment we saw Lee Finlay overtake Magic, it wasn't Magic letting him through. It was just Lee Findlay that felt he had more pace and wanted to pull away.
And now he's much closer than before. Pretty sure he's going to be able to attack Magic in this lap. He goes on the inside for turn 1. But he's going to make it a lot before. And yes, it is. He's in first place. So we have a new race leader as Lee Findlay have overtook Magic and Eagle with a new fastest lap of the race. And it's a 1:39.9, first man on track to lap under the minute and 40 second, and now is just 3 seconds from Eagle. From Spark.
Yeah, Higgy, another 1.5 seconds. So in a couple of laps he will be on the back of Spark, and then we'll see, because at that point, if he manages to overtake Spark in a reasonable amount of time, well, really the sky's the limit.
F1 Simo William overtook Bucky at turn 1, so he's now up into 11th place. And now let's see if Magic will be able to maintain the tail of Lee Findlay and maybe try something in the last lap, because don't forget that if you are able to stay in the back of your opponent for the last lap, the straight is very long and there are very few chances you can defend yourself.
Yeah, we could also see like a photo finish or something like that. It would be really interesting, I would say.
Well, the part of the track, I'm just taking a look at the sectors, the part of the track where Lee Findlay is gaining much more on Magic is between the exit of the castle, so turn 10, and turn 14. Is the part of the track where he gained the most on the Ferrari.
Yeah, maybe there he's the zone where he's most comfortable.
Yeah, Magic, obviously, it's still there. Eagle, that's a new 39.9, just a few cents of a second faster than the one lap he got before, and he gained 1.3 seconds on the Spark, and now is very close, just 1.5 seconds from the F1 Simu driver.
Magic is managing to stay really well at the tail of Lee Findlay, so this is good for both.
It's good for both, but we'll see what's going to happen, because if Eagle will not have any trouble in overtake Spark, he will be soon in the tail of both of them. So the race still have to be decided with just 6.5 laps to go. We are on lap 19 out of 26. Here in Baku, this is race 2 of Group C for the 2019 Formula Europe Championship. And for the ones who start to watch the broadcast live only now, we have Lee Findlay in first place, as you can see on the left of your screen, with Magic, Spark, Eagle, Mattia Metrano, Gabri, Kestrel, Adeo, Cartista, Dres, William, Baki, Anto, and Iceman. And we have 2 guys from the Poland team who got retired, and they are Pancherniak and Bronek. Now Eagle is very close to Federico, very, very close, the same as Magic is close to Findlay.
Even closer. Yeah, we'll try now.
Oh, Magic is trying. Magic is trying on the inside on Lee Findlay, and he is retaking the lead. And we'll see also if Eagle will go for another take on Spark, who is defending, maintaining the center of the line. 39.8 for Eagle from the outside of turn 1, and he managed to get through on the outside. He's up in the third, and now we can clearly see ahead of him the shapes of the cars of both Magic and his teammate, Lee Findlay.
He had so much confidence under braking. Those tires are working perfectly right now. He has a really good chance, and Magic and Lee Findlay really have to be careful.
Well, at the moment, with 6 laps to go, I do believe that if nothing happens, Magic and Findlay will have no chance to defend himself from Eagle.
I agree.
Absolutely no chance.
I totally agree with you.
So we'll see. It's actually just a matter of time. 1.5 seconds between Lee Findlay and Eagle. And Magic is trying to stretch the gap. Now 1/7 of a second between him and Findlay. Maybe he's trying to push now. He's 3/10 of his best personal lap. And now Eagle, he's already in the DRS zone of his teammate. 1/8 of a second between him and Findlay.
Yeah, now there's a little bit of a problem now for Eagle because the driver ahead of him has DRS. So it's not in the straights that he will gain the most, but in the rest of the track. He has to exit really, really close from the last corner and then try and go for the dive bomb in the first one.
But I want to tell you one more thing. We have to remember that Findlay and Eagle are teammates. So maybe Findlay will let Eagle through because he knows that Eagle will have the concrete possibility to overtake Magic and took the victory. Maybe Findlay will have to fight much more with Magic before he gets through.
Yeah, that might be a possible scenario, but I don't know. When you are that close to the win, I don't know if I were Lee Findlay, I don't know how much I would want to let Eagle through.
Well, we'll see. Only time will tell us, and now we are on the conclusion of the lap number 29. We are about to begin the lap number 22, and we still have 5 to go. And it's a lot of distance because this is a 6 kilometers track. So it means that we still have 32 kilometers before the end.
And nothing is decided yet. We have the top 3 covered by 1.5 seconds. So everything is on the table.
Everything is on the table, and let's see if Lee Findlay will try to overtake Magic again. Looks like he's getting closer to the Ferrari, but not enough. And he decides to stay behind, but he is very, very close. As well as also Eagle is getting very close to them too right now. Oh,
Magic a little bit
this.
wide in turn 2. Not the best of exits, but it seems enough.
I'm taking a look at the red lights on the tail of both cars of Magic and Findlay, and I do believe they were both regaining energy. They were restoring energy on the straight because the light on the tail of the cars was flashing during the last part of the straight between turn 2 and turn 3. So maybe they are not pushing that much at the moment or in that point.
Yeah, I'm seeing all 3 drivers on 0 ERS mode. So maybe they are also trying to manage that. And that's a really important part because it can give you that little bit of extra boost to overtake your opponent, but no one wants to give that advantage to the other. So you have to be really careful on where you save it and where you deploy it.
Oh,
Dress!
At the castle.
Yeah.
At the castle, and now in the meantime, Magic, Findlay and Eagle are coming down the finish line with Magic still the leader of the race. Looks like Findlay will have the opportunity to overtake him, and now he's going on the out. He goes on the inside and he make it.
Yes.
And now Magic have to look on his rear mirrors because he can clearly see the shape and the colors of the Force India of LMD Eagle.
And he's now going for it.
And let's see what's gonna happen. 4 laps ago, Magic was able to maintain the contact with Lee Findlay. Let's see if now the William LMD drivers will be able to stretch the gap a little more and avoid the possibility that Magic may try to overtake him again.
I saw Eagle really close to the wall at turn 3, so he's really trying everything he can to get as close as he can to Magic and then try an attack on the start-finish straight.
And we'll see what's gonna happen. They are about to come down the finish line again. Just another couple of corners and they will be there again. 0.8 of a second between Magic and Findlay. And
Magic has
he
fallen back a
lost,
little bit.
now 1 second. Now 1 second, and with this gap, Magic will not have the DRS.
Yeah.
Oh, very close, very close. He goes
So
very
close.
So close right now, and even Spark is just 2.5 seconds from them. Magic defending from Eagle, who decide to go on the inside for turn 1. And it looks like Eagle will be ahead, and yes it is. Eagle gets P2, and now there is just his teammate ahead.
Yeah, it's a 1-2 for the LMD drivers
LMD,
right
yeah.
now. And we will see which way around it will be at the end, because it's not over yet.
It's not over yet, because actually, if Lee Finlay have the possibility to stretch the gap, they can also stay in those positions, because for the team, it doesn't change if Finlay get first and Eagle get second, or the other way.
Yeah, it's exactly the same, but now the fact is they have to pull the gap to Magic, because they can't risk losing one of those positions.
Well, before this race, we were talking about the standings. The FTR were in 3rd place in the standing with 37 points after the race in Australia. Actually, the fact is the retard of Gretz may cost them several points.
Yes, and that's never a good thing when a driver doesn't finish the race, because at the very least you take home some points, even if you finish in the bottom half in the bottom half of the grid. But with not finishing, which is a really likely scenario here in Baku, because of the a really twisty circuit, you lose a lot of points.
Eagle with the DRS on Finlay, but it looks like he don't want to attack his teammate. So he stays behind, he stays in 2nd place, as they now both have a 1.7 second gap on Magic. And also Magic have a 2.6 second gap on Spark. That is in 4th. While Spark have a much larger gap on Mattia Metrano. 10.5 seconds. Then there is Gabri, 1.5 seconds from Mattia Metrano. Topping Castle in 7th place, 4.4 from Gabri. Then Adeo, 2.2 from Topping Castle. Then after 2.7 seconds, we may find Cartista in 9th with an 8.3 second gap on F1 Simo Williams in 10th place. Then 14 seconds from F1 Simo Williams, we have Baki 2. In 12th place, F1 Simo Anto, 7.8 from the Poland driver. And then CPL Iceman in 13th place is the last running driver in the standings at the moment.
And now Eagle is really close, and we'll see if he tries the overtake on the straight going into the last lap.
So the two LMD drivers just have to manage the situation, because at the end of this one, they are going to start the last lap of the race, the 26th lap of the race. So Lee Fridley, then Eagle, then Magic, Spark, Metrano, and all the others. And Eagle, only Fridley goes on the inside. And of course, no problem for him to overtake his teammate.
My God, this is a really good race from Eagle. I'm really impressed from him.
Yeah. We were talking about this before. We saw his potential in Australia, but he didn't manage to express it at all, even for a couple of mistakes. But now this victory pulls away all the doubts.
Yeah, and the way he has come, I mean, he was in trouble after qualifying. He didn't manage to do the strategy he had planned. This might have been actually a blessing in disguise, because he found himself on the soft tires at the very start in 8th place. He had the patience to wait for his moment, and then he started pushing. And now in the second stint on super soft tire, he was just perfect. He did the right moves in the moments you had to do them, and now he's he's approaching the last corner, and this is I think one of the best drives we have seen until now.
Yes, for sure. In the meantime, maybe Magic made a bit of mistake as he lost a lot of gap to the leaders, and now we have Spark only 1 second away, but I think it's gonna be too late. LMD Eagle reaching the finish line on lap 26 here in Baku, and he is the winner here in Baku ahead of his teammate Lee Finlay. It's a limited FTR Team 1-2 here in Baku. Magic ends in the 3rd place, closing the podium. Then Spark in 4th place. 5th is Mattia Ametrano, and 6th is Gabri. Oh, topping Kestrel on the finish line with Adeo! Another
24th. It always involves Adeo.
Yes, that was I was about to say. In Australia, Adeo gets the podium for 0.008 of a second. Now Adeo stays behind Topping Kestrel for 24 thousandths of a second.
Wow. I think it's justice in the end. But well,
yes.
Not really, because he gained the podium and then he lost just 7th place. But still, it's a little bit of equalizing.
Maybe yes, it's an equalizing between F1 Simon and Formula Italian team. As Formula Italian team lost the 3rd place last week, and now it's F1 Simu who lost the 7th place tonight in the fight between Topping Kestrel and Adeo on the last corner. Then in 9th we have Cartista, F1 Simu Williams in 10th. Bucky 2 in 11th place, 12th is F1 Simo Anto, and 13 is CPL Iceman, who is just arriving right now on the finish line. So how about that race, Federico?
Well, that was a very interesting race, especially in the battle for the lead, which I didn't think was really a three-way fight, because I didn't really expect Eagle to be this fast on the Super Softs. But really huge congratulations to him, and also huge congratulations to the LMD team, because today's 1-2 is really important for the standings. And going into the last race, it will be really, really good to see who will come out on top.
So these are the podium celebrations for Finlay, Eagle, and Magic. And as you said before, while we have now on screen the final standing of the race, good to see that none of the drivers got any kind of time penalty. But of course, just remember that the race director have watched the race, so never say never here. Anyway, these are the final standings. So we'll just be joined by Lee Finlay. Then we also have Magic with us. We are just waiting for the winner of the race. We're just waiting for LMD Eagle, but while we're waiting for him, I do believe we can start to ask something to Lee Finlay. So Lee, how about your race? You were really fighting neck to neck with Magic for almost the entire race, and then maybe you decided to let your teammate through in the end, because anyway, it didn't change nothing for your team.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm really happy that we managed to get a 1-2. Good game to FECL Magic as well for the great battle for most of the race. That was really good fun. But yeah, I was really wanting to win it, but then when I saw H Eagle, when I saw his close mate, I thought, nah, I'm not going to defend it because he's my teammate and I don't want to risk fighting with him. So I just let him go. But yeah, I am really happy with the whole results, and yeah, good game to everyone else. So Yeah, had decent pace as well. Didn't do much practice, so was a little bit cautious around the castle section in the first few laps just to get used to the track again. But yeah, really happy with what we did.
Okay, congratulations, Lee. Then we also have, of course, something to ask to Magic. Maybe Magic, I have to ask you something in Italian before, I do believe. Davide, allora è stata una buona gara, battaglia proprio strettissima con Lee per tutta la gara, Lee che tra l'altro nelle sue dichiarazioni ti fa anche i complimenti per la bella battaglia. È mancato poco, con Lee forse potevate stare lì, però forse in questo caso non è nel caso di rischiare troppo. Con Eagle però non c'era possibilità, con le super soft a fine gara risaliva troppo velocemente. Traduco un attimo. So it's been a good race for you too. As I said to Finlay before, you fought with him for the entire race distance almost. You had a very good pace to fight with him, but in the end of the race, maybe Eagle was too much fast and he was going too fast with the super soft tires at the end of the race. Puoi rispondere?
Niente, Beh, innanzitutto complimenti ai primi due, complimenti al primo e al secondo. Sono abbastanza deluso onestamente perché cioè, il passo gara mi ero allenato abbastanza e avevo trovato un buon feeling e avevo anche un buon passo, solo che non so, stasera forse la stanza un po' strana, non frenava, la macchina non frenava, cioè io sono partito bene dalla pole, ho detto provo ad andare via, sapevo che avevo un buon ritmo di testa, provo ad andare via, ma prime 3-4 frenate sono andato lunghissimi, ma non frenavo, avevo lunghissimo, allora... e poi non avevo passo, cioè, 7-8 decimi più lento rispetto a un'ora fa prima della gara, giorni prima. Ho capito che era impossibile vincere la gara, quindi ho cercato di arrivare, cioè di portare la macchina al traguardo senza prendere rischi e portare a casa più punti possibili. Ecco. Quindi, cioè, va bene, però sono un po' deluso perché pensavo di potermela giocare per vincere.
Okay, let me translate. So I'm a little bit disappointed for the race because I really trained enough during the week, and unfortunately, maybe the lobby was a little bit strange. I had a good start, but in the first three or four times I braked, I saw that the car was going too much long, and I didn't have a good feeling with the brakes, so I decided to stay calm and bring the car to the end of the race, to the checkered flag. Unfortunately, my pace tonight was much slower than the one I've expected. I was 7/8 of a second slower than the pace I tested just before the race, or even in the days before while I was training. Anyway, it's a good result. I'm pretty sure that tonight, pretty sure I couldn't do much better than this. So one more question for both of you guys, as it looks like Eagle is not going to join us tonight. Unfortunately, I would really like to ask him a couple of questions. Anyway, a question for both of you. Next race will be the first 100% race distance of the championship. We're going to go in Spa, on the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. How do you feel on this track? How is your feeling with the Belgian Grand Prix circuit? So Lee, you can answer first.
Well, personally, for me, it's a track that I'm not very good at, but I'm sure hopefully if I can get enough practice in, if I'm racing in Belgium, hopefully me and the team can bring home a good result again. Would be nice. We'll just have to wait and see, but yeah, I think the results tonight is giving us a good boost for the next race.
Sure, of course, we'll see what's gonna happen. I translate the question for Magic. Allora, Davide, si va a Spa-Francorchamps. Ovviamente, quali sono le sensazioni in vista del Gran Premio del Belgio, se mai appunto poi dovesse essere tu chiamato in causa fra 7 giorni?
Ma onestamente quest'anno a Spa, nelle varie gare che abbiamo fatto, non ho avuto un buon feeling, onestamente. Quindi,
Ne so
eh,
qualcosa.
sì, esatto, quindi non lo so. Però proveremo a cambiare qualcosa rispetto alle finals. Già ho cambiato qualcosina, quindi mi allenerò, vedremo un po' se miglioramenti ci sono stati. Ecco.
Okay. Of course, as the question I asked you before I translate, usually in the last few races I had in Spa this year, my feeling was not that good. But anyway, if the team will need my effort, I will try to collaborate with them, try to change something, and maybe maybe a good result will come from the Belgian Grand Prix this year. So, as I was saying before, looks like we're not gonna have Eagle tonight. Anyway, it's all. There's nothing more
Just
to
one
say.
thing,
So,
Luca.
yes, yes.
If you allow me. I really appreciate the honesty of these two guys, because when you talk about Spa, always everyone says, "Oh my God, Spa is such a good track," and both of these guys just simply said, "Yeah, I don't
Yes.
really like that track," and I really appreciate this. Just a
I'm
little
not
bit
good
of a
enough. That's
yeah,
maybe the point,
yeah.
the focus. Okay. Anyway, it's really all for tonight. I just want to thank first of all the broadcast director tonight, Alessandro Pietacatella. Thank you for your support tonight.
Thank you.
And of course, thanks a lot to my guest tonight on commentary, Federico Andreozzi. Thank you, Federico.
Thank you, Luca. Thank you, everyone.
And last but not least, thank you so much to Magic and Lee Findlay for being with us here tonight for the post-race interviews. Thank you so much, guys. Congratulations. So it's really everything for tonight. We have nothing more to say, but don't forget that next week we will be live from Spa-Francorchamps, starting from Monday at 21 with a third race of Group A, and then Group B on Thursday and Group C on Wednesday. So thank you so much for joining us on this live broadcast. We'll see you soon. Good night and God bless you.